Now, listen up.
3, 2, 1.
It's showtime. That's great. This is ridiculous.
99.3 The Truth.
You can't handle the truth. Right now.
Ooh. That's the stupidest thing I ever heard.
Let's do it.
Hit it.
It's time for Max World. And here we go.
Everybody, let's get it started. Let's get it started.
Call Mac 244-0077 or text 809-0993.
It's showtime, everybody! Showtime!
Exclusively on 99.3 The Truth.
307. 26th day of July in Jesus' third millennium of 2016. I'm J. Michael McCoy. We are back in the saddle again on a Tuesday. The whole team's here, plus a new guest. So Jebediah is producing, and if you call 244-0077 and want to get on the radio, because it is your voice, it is your voice I want to hear. You know whose voice I don't want to hear?
Me.
There you go. So anyway, 244-0077. And
No, I think you really meant Elmo.
No,
You don't want to hear Elmo.
I love Elmo. I love Elmo. And what I've got a whole bunch of stuff we're going to talk about today, but I also want to just I don't do this very often because it can kind of be a train wreck for a radio show. Chris, calm down, buddy. I've been doing this longer than you've been alive. It'll be okay. You ought to see the look he just gave me. Because I'm going to let you call in and talk about. I'm going to talk. Excuse me.
Oh, I choked him up. That was such a good look. I must have the look, superpower look. Make you choke.
Well, actually, I want to get a picture of that look and put it on Facebook because I do want people.
Is that like? Can I be a what would my superhero name be if
Grouchy Pants?
Grouchy Pants.
Oh,
the look.
All right, so give me that look again. All right,
there it was. Now
I have
it's
that on Facebook.
Now
All
it's
right.
immortalized forever.
So, if you've got something you want to talk about, we're going to kind of get into the convention a little bit. I mean, how can we not? Right? I'm sorry. We probably just lost Jill. Oh, guess what? Jill lost her internet for 5 days. I don't have to have her on the Facebook every day telling me what to say and do.
Send him a text, Jill.
I don't even think she can listen.
Aw, well, she has a radio.
Oh, she can listen to the radio.
All right, so anyway.
She didn't have a radio. She didn't have that kind of new technology.
If you've got something you want to talk about today or you want to bring up, and it certainly could be spiritual, you need prayed with today, I'd love to pray with you. I'm serious. You got something on your mind, you don't have to tell me your name. You can call yourself Bob or Sally. If you've got something heavy on your heart, you know, maybe, just maybe, the Holy Spirit had you tune in right now, and you didn't know why, but you're heavy in your heart, and you want somebody to pray with you. We'll pray with you. Well, I'd love to. That'd be a Holy Spirit moment. I'd love that. All right, so obviously Frank's here, but there's good news. Frank's taking tomorrow off, Bob, so that'll be good. And Bob Montserrat, the Cat in the Hat, watching the chat, and the Service Legends Truth text line at 515-809-0993. You can also ask or say anything you want on the Service Legends Truth text line.
Now, just don't go counting your chickens before they're hatched. You know, there is such thing as cell phones.
What?
I might be off, but cell phones
I see.
aren't...
So that comment I made like 20 seconds ago, you finally are reacting to
Uh-huh.
it. Good. I like that. That's Frank right on the ball. He's like a 20-minute, what are those called?
I was right
Delay
on
machine.
it. I was right on it.
Yeah, no, I'm already into something else, and I don't even know.
How about that NASCAR race, huh? Did you see that?
You mean on Sunday?
I don't know. Is there one?
Yeah, there actually was. Hey,
look what I'm
incredible
sorry.
race.
I see what I did. I just there was the rabbit. Boom. There was a silence. I just
there
thought
was
I'd
a
distract
race at
all
Mac's
of us.
favorite track,
Yep.
Indianapolis,
Yep.
called the Brickyard 400.
And I recorded it, and I haven't watched it yet, so don't tell me
All right, I won't
goes
tell
on.
you.
But wasn't there something? It was Tony. See what you done did. So Tony Stewart. It was his last race. Is that right?
Last race.
And is this coming from that accident he had down in Knoxville?
Well, that and the death of the driver that he hit with a sprint car up in New York, and several things. His career's kind of been on the slides. This is his last year, not his last race. Last year.
Okay. All right. So we want to talk about that, and then we have a special guest in here, who's a friend of mine, Christy. And Christy, anytime you want to talk, but you got to talk right into the mic.
Hello.
Yes. Just
Well
like
done.
that.
Well done.
All right.
Thank you.
Officially
All right.
a part of the team. I love it.
So let's get to a couple of news stories. A judge says state investigators don't have to release email exchanges with the stepdaughters of a lawmaker who says they falsely accused him of sexual abuse. Did you hear that, Chris? I'm going to go back and read that again.
Please do.
Yeah. So a judge
Yep.
has told a state investigator that they don't have to release email exchanges back and forth from the stepdaughter of a lawmaker who says they, his stepchildren, falsely accused him of sexual abuse. Do you remember this story? Former Representative Henry Rayhons requested those records after jurors acquitted him of abusing his late wife last year. This was the guy that went into the, I think.
Nursing home?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was the guy that went into the nursing home, and his wife is not all there, and he had sexual relations with her, and he got into a lot of trouble for it. And
No consent. That's what they're saying.
that's what they're saying. But he was acquitted of that.
Right.
He was acquitted from abusing his wife late last year. The Iowa Department of Public Safety and Iowa Attorney General's office refused, citing exemptions in the open records law. Now his stepdaughters had pushed the state to prosecute Rayhons, who denied having intercourse with his mentally incapacitated wife in a nursing home. Rayhons is now suing the women, his stepdaughters. Judge Robert Blink ruled this month that the emails can remain secret.
Was that Judge Blink?
Yeah, that's what I said, didn't I?
B-L-I-N-K?
Didn't I say Blink?
Didn't sound like that to me.
Judge Roberto Blink, or you'll miss it.
So what happened to death till death do us part?
Hold on there,
Okay.
winking and nod. So Judge Robert Blink ruled this month that the emails can remain a secret. He says they're part of a police report which can be confidential even after a case is over. Blink says their release would discourage witnesses from cooperating. Now, Frank, what do you think of that?
Well, I want to know what happened till death do us part.
What does that have to do with anything, though? What I don't understand.
Well, they're married.
Yeah, but right. But if she's incapacitated,
What's that got to do with it?
that's called rape, Frank.
How's that?
Well,
they're
if you do
married.
something to me that I don't want done to me, I don't
How
like
do you
that.
know she didn't want it done to her?
How do you know she did?
Would she rather him be out cheating with a prostitute?
I think this is a great conversation.
No, I think it's a terribly awful conversation. At least half of it, anyway.
Anyway, that's what he's been accused of, and he's been acquitted, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's the whole thing. But Frank, it sounds like he's advocating that that's okay.
No,
I think
I'm just suggesting. So what if he did? And the story says they don't even know if he did because they dropped the charges.
Well, he's been acquitted. They couldn't have dropped him, but they did. He was acquitted. So I think that's an interesting question. Now, today we happen to have a female, so I want your perspective. So do you understand the story?
I do, and I remember.
So,
And,
yeah.
well, she was awake, right?
I don't know. I don't know, to be honest with you.
I think he was wrongly accused. It was his wife. He wanted to have sex with her one more time.
Yeah.
He didn't do anything maliciously. There was no ill contempt. He just wanted to make love to his wife one more time. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I think that's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
I don't know all the cases. Frank made
What do you
it
think,
sound.
Grouchy Pants? Go
Well,
ahead.
what I'm saying
dig
is
right
what.
in there and go dig
See
deep,
what I
throw
did?
the dirt.
This is
Dig
what happens
deep,
when I don't
throw
know
the
anything.
dirt.
No, it's fine. I was more responding to Frank's comment. I mean, I didn't.
Christy said the same thing.
No, she didn't know. There's a difference between being incapacitated and awake and all that kind of stuff if there's consent. So if there's not consent, though, it's not consensual, right?
It was his wife. He didn't go into somebody else's room that he didn't know.
Right.
So what you're telling me, and this is a tough question, and I'll can I use you and your wife?
No,
I'd probably rather not, but you can use Bob. Just kidding.
Let's just use
any husband. That wants to make love to his wife, and she says, "I really don't want to."
Right.
So does it end there in your mind?
Yeah.
Okay. And I can't disrespect that. But I also hear what Christy and Frank are saying.
Well,
I don't know that they're saying the same thing necessarily.
Paul clearly instructs in the Bible that a wife does not belong. The body of the wife does not belong exclusively to her, and nor does the body of the husband belong exclusively to him. This is why we're supposed to engage in sexual relationships as married couples, so that temptation doesn't come in and cause us to want to do something with somebody else. Clearly, when she dies, he will be free to remarry, but as long as they're married, I don't see the issue. I don't know.
But what you just described, though, Frank, is mutual. If person number one belongs to person number two, and person number two belongs to person number one, that means they're one and the same. So if half that person says no, knows the answer.
You're saying, though,
hold on. There's no report that she said no. He was acquitted.
I'm talking about what Frank said.
But you're trying to allege that if person number one is incapacitated, then person number two no longer has a right to person number one, even though they're still legally married. And he hasn't committed adultery to, as far as we know, he hasn't committed adultery to break the commitment of that marriage, that covenant. So the fact that she's incapacitated, I don't see the issue.
515-244-0077. I really want to hear what you think, especially if you're a pastor. You don't have to tell me your name. Serious. I think this is a very interesting subject. And I want to hear from you today live at 244-0077. I'm J. Michael McCoy. If I haven't told you lately, thanks for listening. Love this job. Couldn't do it without you. On the Truth.
Credit cards are like grandkids. They love you, sometimes get out of control, and it's fun to get a new one. Who can stop them from piling on?
Hi, I'm Tom Coates with Consumer Credit of Des Moines. You can return the grandkids, but you're stuck paying off bad credit card debt. We'll help you put the fun back into using credit cards responsibly. Right, kids?
Yeah! If you need help getting credit cards off your back, call Consumer Credit of Des Moines.
Hi, my name is David Burrier, your Hope Coach. I host a live weekly talk show called I've Been There every Thursday afternoon at 5:30, right here on webcast1live.com, and on my weekly radio program Saturday mornings at 10 on Truth Network 99.3 FM. I interview common everyday people who have survived incredible life challenges and who testify to God's faithfulness in the midst of their storms. So join me as we bring a message of hope and encouragement. Everybody needs hope. I know, because I've been there.
Hey everybody, I brought Northern Lights Pizza! And it's got Graziano sausage!
Rockton Prevention is celebrating 25 years of creating a caring community. We want to say thank you to the tens of thousands of Rock High School mentors that have carried our message of health, love, and encouragement to over 1.5 million children, teachers, and parents. Our mentors teach children methods and skills to prevent bullying and drug use. Thank you to all the school administrators, teachers, and counselors for their opportunity to serve you. Rock on, fair citizens, rock on. This is Pat McManus for Rockton Prevention, the Richard O. Jacobson Foundation, and this station.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live. From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live.
3:21, 21 minutes after 3 o'clock. It's the 26th day of July in the Lord's year 2016. I'm J. Michael McCoy. I'm going to update you on my medical situation. I did that yesterday at the end of the show, and I saw another cardiologist today, and so that's just how I roll. I don't know if that's uncomfortable for you. If it is, I apologize. I don't mean to be offended or anything. It's just how I do my show. There's not much that goes on in my life that Jesus doesn't tell me that I need to share it. Not because I want to, because sometimes it's embarrassing. Sometimes it's very personal. Quite frankly, sometimes I cry like a baby. I'm one of those guys. If I see puppies on a cell phone commercial, I'm not only buying the cell phone, but I'm looking for the puppies. That's my heart. And so I'm going through a really tough thing with my health. I'm 57 years old. And I'm right now I'm scheduled for open heart surgery in 29 days. But I have a chance to earn my way out of that through good behavior. And I'll talk about it at the end of the show. All right. 515-244-0077. I can't believe this isn't something that you want to chime in on. I mean, it is your voice I want to hear. You can also text us at the Service Legends Truth text line at 515-809-0993. Now, rather than do what I always do, Chris, and put words in your mouth, because I do that, and I'm sorry, I shouldn't do that. We have a situation here where former representative and AG Henry Rayhans has been acquitted of abusing his late wife last year. It was reported that he had intercourse with his mentally incapacitated wife in a nursing home. Judge Robert Blink and a jury of his peers said, no, we don't think so. We're going to acquit you. And, of course, do you know why he was acquitted? I mean, it's pretty easy. Why? It's not that he's innocent or that he did or didn't do. Why would he be acquitted in this case? Bob, you're the legal brain here.
Probably because they couldn't prove there was no consent.
Yeah, she can't testify. So the prosecutor can't just assume what she might or might not have said or done.
And you can't compel a man or woman to testify against each other.
That's right. That's true.
Husband and wife.
Husband and wife.
Husband and wife to testify against each other.
So, and Christy, one of my good friends, is in the studio today. She didn't know we were going to talk about this, but I thought it was interesting, especially from a woman's perspective. Your position or your opinion on this is?
I didn't think he did anything wrong, and I would have to ask, too, if it was my husband that had the dementia, Alzheimer's, and was in a home, and I wanted to be with him one more time and did, would I be charged?
Well, according to this, you would be.
Would I?
Probably not.
Probably not.
Because it's
because society seems to frown less upon female on male victim as opposed to male on female victim.
His actions were out of love.
Yeah, because it certainly couldn't.
They were out of love for his wife.
Yeah, because he's how old is he, Bob?
78.
Yeah.
So he was 75 years old. This guy. I'm 20 years younger than him, and I'm telling you, there becomes a point when that's not necessary anymore unless your heart tells you so. The physical urge, I don't know, maybe I'm the only one in the room or listening to the radio, but I'm willing to admit it. At some point, it's about the heart and not about the sex. And that's what I hear you saying.
Yes.
Now, Chris, I don't want to put words in your mouth, so put down your little girl's phone.
No, I'm not going to put down my phone because I'm trying to read here. And by the way, what I was saying before the break had nothing to do with the specifics of this case. What I was talking about before the break was more just in general that consent is consent, right? If my wife says she doesn't want to have sex, I respect that, and I think you should respect that.
Right.
That's now the situation around this case might be completely different, and that's the point. I can't speak specifically about this case. I was in the room, and I don't know. I'm reading some past articles. This happened back in 2015.
Yeah.
2014. Right.
Yeah.
Right. The article that I'm looking at came out in 2015, and. If you read much of what he said in testimony and what was reported by the Des Moines Register, he claims that he was not doing anything that was not, in a sense, consensual or things that wasn't wanted. And I think in that case, I agree with Christy, right? We just met like 5 seconds ago. So,
27 minutes ago.
Oh, 27 seconds ago. So
Minutes, sorry.
And we've been talking about this not awkward conversation at all. But I agree with you, Christy, that if it's mutual, you're giving me that look.
No, go ahead, finish your statement, and then I'm going to say something.
If it's mutual, it's mutual. If it's not, it's not. That's my distinction, right? And so I'm not going to say that if someone is mentally, in a not sound mental state, I think that becomes a difficult situation. I'm not saying I know the answer. I'm saying it becomes difficult.
The difference is they were married. And they had a good marriage, I'm assuming, based on what little information I have. He didn't walk into somebody else's room. Right. That he didn't know.
Right. Well, and from what it sounds like, Christy, in the report, too, it doesn't sound as though he was the primary initiator. This was not all his idea. Right. From what I'm skimming, trying to quickly read articles that I have never read before, it doesn't seem that way. So why were you making a face at me, Mac? You don't even remember now? You fell off your chair and there was a rabbit that went under the desk?
I don't remember. What were you saying?
Something profound.
No. I remember. Now, wait a minute. Hold on.
Oh, there it is.
And this is a contention, a professional contention that you and I have, okay? So I've only been in Christian radio for 5 years, okay? I've been in radio for a lot longer.
Right.
Would this be an inappropriate conversation on 98.3?
Oh, I don't think it's an inappropriate conversation on Christian radio.
Well, you said it was inappropriate.
No.
Didn't you?
Uncomfortable.
It's awkward. I just met Christy and we're talking about having sex. Not her and I, just the topic of sex.
Oh, boy, you better dig out of that one real quick.
I got out of it quick.
Okay.
I'm fast like that. But no, I think it's completely okay and good that we should talk about it.
Okay, good.
And Christy's point, I thought, was quite beautiful as opposed to the way Frank illustrated it. Frank did it in a way that made it sound very aggressive, like
misogynistic.
Misogynistic, like, hey, we're married and I don't really care what you think.
No,
and I'm not okay with that, but that's not the way I'm going to run my married. By the way, he's not married, I am. It's not like it's not a thing. It's just I'm just pointing that out. It has no bearing on this.
Dirt. Just go ahead. I'm just going to put some sound effects.
Okay, listen. In my defense here, I am the blunt-spoken one on this program.
It's true.
I toss grenades because I don't like political correctness. I hate political correctness.
It's true.
And that's the reason
you're so good at it.
And
Frank.
that's the reason I tend to lob grenades. Now, I can be a little more sympathetic and gentle if I wanted to be, but I'm on this program to toss grenades, so take it at that.
Okay.
No, and you did a good job.
We've left someone very important out of this conversation. We've got Jeb.
Sorry, I'm over here laughing too much.
That's good.
Jebediah is not married.
He's not.
But he does have a beautiful significant other, and even though Jeb doesn't know it, he's going to marry her at some point. And I'm going to be there. He's going to let me read 1 Corinthians 13 at his Catholic wedding. So, what do you think of this? I mean, serious. Your opinion is very important because you're a 21-year-old male.
Well, I think we're missing some of the facts here. Do we know for sure if there was any consensual consent here? Do we know?
We know that there was. We know that we don't know. In other words, she couldn't tell it whether there was or not, and nobody else could prove whether there was or not.
His testimony is that it was consensual, though.
Right.
So did somebody walk in on them, or how did this come about into court?
Actually, a
Go ahead.
Well, I think it was a nurse or something in the nursing home heard what was going on.
I believe there was at the time there was confusion about there was sound. There's a lot of different things. I mean, obviously.
So the only witness was this nurse?
Well, there really wasn't a witness.
Yeah, that's why I think it was dropped.
The witness could only corroborate that he had sex with her. The question whether it was unconsensual or not, nobody could prove, and that's why he was acquitted.
Not guilty.
Right, acquitted. There's a difference between acquitted. There's a Jebediah. I don't know.
What did they charge him of?
They charged him with sexual battery,
sexual abuse.
Here's his quote in the Des Moines Register. Hey, Tom,
abusing his late wife. Yeah.
Here's a quote from the Des Moines Register article back in April 15th of 2015. Ray Horn said, "I never touched her when she didn't want it. I only tried to fulfill her need when she asked for it." See, it's language like, again, this is just his perspective. We don't have everybody's perspective, but that's his perspective anyway.
Yeah, well, from what we know, I don't think you can charge him with anything.
Well, that's why he was acquitted, because there wasn't enough evidence.
Well, let's go back to the Terry Schiavo well-known case.
Yeah.
That Terry Schiavo's husband was saying that while they were married, she had confide in him if there was ever an incident where she was incapacitated, she didn't want to be put on life support, and the court abided by that decision. So conversations in between consensual married adults, the court has respected that privacy. So, I mean, I tend to be a little blunt, a little about the situation, but I lobbed the grenade, so what? They're married.
Robert, you have said nothing.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think?
That's a very astute
All of a sudden,
observation.
we got a Norwegian in the room. Yeah, ofta.
Yeah.
So what do you? I mean, you're a scientist. You're a legal guy. You love Jesus. What do you think? Did they handle this right by acquitting him? Should they have ever charged him?
Well, that's what I'm thinking. And the fact is, he was a lawmaker. He was a Republican, and I don't know if there was any political thing that this had to do with. But the fact of the matter is, like you had said, there was no proof. There was nobody there to witness this stuff, and so you couldn't get anybody to testify against what had taken place.
Well, and let's all okay. And maybe Christy, you're the only one, but I can admit I agree with what Christy said. But it makes him kind of seem yucky. You know what I mean? I mean, it did hurt his reputation. Well, acquitted or not.
And here's what you had in the article. What you had in the article were stepchildren who brought this to their attention as well. I forgot to mention this. So there was some indication that there was bitterness, that there was an attempt to slander him, that kind of stuff, which maybe even to some degree Bob was alluding to there. I don't know. But that's what's going on in the current article is that Judge Blink has said we're not going to release those emails. Those emails are going to continue to be private. And those are the emails between his stepchildren and him about this situation, allegations and things like that, I believe.
Yeah, and you're really getting a tit for tat here because it was former Representative Henry Rayhans that requested those records. And the judge is saying, no, we're not going to go down that road. I'm the judge. This ends here. Because he believes those emails back and forth would prove that his stepdaughters wrongly accused him, and therefore he would like to have a lawsuit against them. I mean,
some retribution for that, yeah.
Yeah, he would like to sue that. Blink says their release would discourage witnesses from cooperating. That's true. So, anyway. Tom Coates just walked in. You know what we're talking about? No, you don't want to do... Well, we're out of time now. All right.
Thanks, Tom. Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, Tom, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah. Tip your waiter and waitress. All right, we're coming back. Holy Toledo. Death on Iowa's roads are up. Do you know why? I do. I'll share it with you when we come back. Live here in Mac's World on 99.3 The Truth.
Northern Lights Pizza's amazing garlic butter makes amazing breadsticks. Now available in 12-ounce bottles at Northern Lights, Hy-Vee, and Graziano's.
Northern Lights Pizza. I'm Brian Leach, owner of Service Legends, and my position is Chief Talent Officer. I'm Nicholas Wonderscheid,
I am Bernie Hobbs,
and I'm the service manager.
Marketing Director and Client Relations Manager.
Everything that we do is about ensuring that we exceed your expectations.
Our clients are important to us. 100% satisfaction.
We're not just focused on heating and cooling. That's the easiest part of our job, actually, is fixing furnaces and air conditioners.
Everyone that we come in touch with, we want to improve lives.
Bottom line is, we've got our installation guarantees, 25% energy savings guarantee, comfort guarantee, temperature selection guarantee, property protection guarantee.
100% satisfaction guaranteed, fixed rate or it's free.
All of those guarantees are backed up with a 100% money back guarantee to hold ourselves accountable to making sure that you get what you're after.
Just fixing the problem today. If they have another problem 5 days down the road, it's still fixed rate or it's free.
We use what's called straightforward pricing. Our technicians are going to give you an exact to-the-penny price on what it's going to take before they move forward with any repair. That way you know what to expect.
It's the same price every day.
No surprises.
If you get off work at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, you come home, you realize that, oh, my furnace is broken. Now you need to call somebody out that night. You shouldn't have to pay more for that.
We're guaranteeing service 24/7.
We run afternoons, evenings, nights, weekends. We're staffed to work that.
Phone rings at 3 in the morning. You'll get one of our representatives answering the phone every time.
We're not sending you out to Timbuktu in some call center. It's our Service Legend team members, our mission control team.
I'll take a call anytime.
And then they answer the phones the same way during the day as they do at night.
It's a great day at your service company. How can we make you smile?
That's the only way to provide true 24-hour service.
When you're able to let somebody actually live in their home safely when they weren't able to do that before, where they don't have to stay up at night and worry about, is the heat going to come back on? Are we going to freeze the pipes? Is the baby in the room next door going to be sick because they got too cold? When you're able to help somebody overcome challenges like that, that's impacting a life. That makes a difference. I get goosebumps thinking about it.
I love the team. I love the people that I work with.
We have fun, but we work hard.
I call them my ambassadors of legendary service. If you could just envision what that is, that's who we're sending to your home.
They literally will call in, pick up the phone and call and say, hey, I want to talk to your manager. And I get on the phone, they're like, that technician that was at my house was the greatest technician ever. That's cool to me.
We want to brighten people's days.
Every person that we have going into the house has gone through an extensive background check.
Drug testing, we have a very thorough interview process that 1 out of 140 people make it through.
If we promise you something, that's what you're going to get, no matter what.
We're here when you need us to protect the safety and comfort of your family.
If you're not happy, we're going to make it right.
If we're willing to put 100% money back guarantee on what we do, what type of work do you think we do?
Give us a call. We're there for you 24/7, 365 days a year.
Enough said.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live.
3:38, 22 minutes before the top of the hour. At top of the hour, Tom Coates from Consumer Credit will be in. And Frank, is it fair to say you're drooling?
Yes.
Over wanting to talk about the Democratic Convention?
Well, I was wanting to talk about it yesterday.
Yesterday?
Yeah, don't you remember I said something about the convention yesterday, and you said, are you up on it? I said, yes, I am.
Well, wait, hold on, though. We didn't...
I know we didn't, because you never did get into the conversation.
Well, when did you... we're on the air at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Had the convention even started? Yeah?
Yes, there had been some uproar.
Oh, you want to talk about the woman that resigned?
Well, that and the booing and a lot of things that went on.
All right, well...
she didn't get to gavel the convention.
You know what? It's going to be a little bit of Frank's world.
Okay, all right.
All right. I know I am. It's Frankenstein, aren't I, Chris? I just put another electrode in his neck.
Bob's feeding me quarters over here.
Hey, feed me. All right, 20 minutes before the top of the hour. It has been the most dangerous year for Iowa drivers so far. With 5 traffic fatalities over the weekend, the death toll for 2016 is 211. That puts us on track, and this is just what they say in the newspaper. I'm not saying I agree, but their statistics say that it puts us on track to have 440 fatalities this year. That would be the highest since 2007 when there was 446. So, let's go around the room. What is the major cause of these accidents? Bob? You're guessing. I know you're guessing.
Pokemon.
Oh. Pokemon.
Bicycles.
Okay. Bicycles. Oh, yeah. There you go.
Texting while driving.
Chris?
I'm with Tom, texting while driving.
Yes, impaired drivers, absolutely.
Jeb?
Texting while driving.
It is. It's texting while driving.
Mm-hmm.
Texting on a bicycle.
Yeah, there you go. That's Frank's got.
It's been crazier than normal, said Sergeant Nathan Ludwig, Iowa State Patrol. It's a year where us in law enforcement just shake our heads. To make matters worse, August is routinely the deadliest month for drivers. Last year, there were 51 deaths. It was the worst month in 2015. Bottom line is texting while driving. Sergeant Ludwig goes on to say that the amount of traffic is nothing new, but it's a common driving habit that scares his troopers most. Texting while driving. That's just crazy. We know that because it has to be some sort of distraction. Drivers who are paying attention don't normally lose control for no reason. If you pull up to a light right now, you'll see almost 50% of the drivers looking down at a phone. Wow. Isn't it illegal to text and drive in Iowa?
Yes.
It is. So is that a moving violation? Does that go against your points?
I don't know. I don't know that.
Well, it's kind of like
I would think
you get ticketed if you don't have a seatbelt on, but I don't know that they can pull you over for not having a seatbelt on. I think it's the same kind of thing, isn't it? Like that, if you're caught texting while driving and they've pulled you over for some other reason, that can be added on, just like with seatbelts. I think that's how it works.
They can pull.
I have been pulled over for not having a seatbelt on.
Really?
Yes, it was a number of years ago, but yes.
Yeah, you can be.
Yeah. And the vehicle was not moving. I was in heavy traffic, sitting at a stoplight, and a cop pointed at me and made me move. And he gave me a ticket.
Well, that must have made you mad.
Well, I was rather indignant, yes.
Yes, I would think you were.
I accused him of being prejudiced against middle-aged white women.
Middle-aged white women.
Yes.
So did you pay the ticket?
Yes.
Okay. Happily?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
But it doesn't go against your driver's license, right?
No.
It doesn't go. It's not a moving violation. No.
It's not. Oh, it's not?
No.
Well, how in the heck? It's got to be a moving violation. You mean I can... If I sit in my driveway listening to the radio, I have to have my seatbelt on?
What I'm saying, it's not like a speeding ticket. It doesn't count against your license. 3 strikes, you lose your license or you're suspended. A seatbelt is not considered a moving violation, and it doesn't jack your insurance rates up either.
All right, 244-0077. That's the number where your voice can be heard. 244-0077. Let's go to the phones where Bill is standing by. Hi, Bill. You're live in Max World. How you doing?
Good. How are you guys today?
Good. So what do you think?
I'm a truck driver here in town. I spend 12 hours a day on the road, and I'll tell you what, 90% of the people have their phones in their hands. Not 50%, and not when you pull up to a stop sign. I mean, everybody has their phone in their hand. That and bicycles on the road are my 2 biggest pet peeves.
Oh, you must have enjoyed yesterday's show.
Well, I wanted to call in yesterday and say something, and then I heard it on another radio station. They were talking about it. We spend millions of dollars on bike trails and then say, go ahead and ride on the roads and get in everybody's way.
Yeah.
Why would you get on a bicycle and ride where there's big trucks, cars?
Right.
Hey, and the texting is just amazing. I see them swerving all over the place, and I see accidents because of it. Yeah, it's terrible.
I would tell you, Bill, that I just have to admit, I'm one of them.
Well, if Bill's statistics are right, 90%, we're all mostly one of them.
Frank?
90% of us.
Hey, Bill, in your professional opinion, without trying to start a sex war here, generally speaking, is it more women texting or men, or is it an equal number of both?
I'd say women. But the men are getting bad at it too. And, I have to have a hands-free device. If I get caught texting, it's a huge fine.
Oh, yeah.
If I get caught talking without my hands-free device, it's a huge fine.
Well, plus I would imagine at some point your CDL is in trouble.
My CDL would be in trouble, and then I'd have to go back and work for a living. And I don't want to go. I only know how to do 2 things, concrete work and driving a truck. And, man, concrete's bad on an old guy. So.
Well, I'm just terrible. I really am. I am constantly on my phone in the car. Constantly.
Put them down and drive. There's enough distractions out here without having to text and worry about that. And if you got to text somebody, I pull up to a stop sign. I get orders on my phone, and I pull off to the side of the road turn on my flashers and look at my orders then, so I don't do it while I'm driving down the road. So.
All right, Bill, I really appreciate you calling in and sharing that. That's the guy right there. 12 hours. Yeah, I love you, buddy. 12 hours a day, driving a truck across central Iowa, and he says 9 out of 10 people are texting. So, Tom, what do we do about this? I mean, if 9 out of 10 people were driving drunk, everybody would be in arms.
Well, and there was a statistic, some survey that came out the other day, Mac, and I can't quote what it was, but that they said that you were much more dangerous on the road if you were texting than if you were incapacitated by drinking at some level. So if we have, and we knew, I mean, when I was growing up, Mac, and when you were growing up, driving under the influence of alcohol was not that big a deal. It got to be a huge deal, in part because of Mothers Against Drunk Drivers, and the political pressures ramped up. I would guess that we're going to have something similar, mothers that have lost children,
Mothers Against
from
texting?
that. I think we're going to have some pressure brought to bear, and it is going to affect a lot of us because I don't text much when I'm driving, but I'm still at times answering my phone or doing something that does distract me. So my wife took my phone out. We were driving back from the Ozarks yesterday, and my wife took my phone out of my hands, about to check, see what the markets were doing. So you can't have that, and she took it out of my hand. So,
well, as somebody who has driven impaired more than once and has been arrested and jailed for it, now that that was from alcohol. Haven't had a drink in 2,271 days, so I'm one day at a time. But man, oh man, it is harder to text and drive than it is when I was impaired. Because when you're impaired, you're focused. I mean, you're going, oh, come on, where's the cops? There's no cops around. And you go slower. Texting, you're just an idiot. Just blah, 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 blah.
Well, and you're not looking at where you're going, and I think that's the biggest thing is that you're not looking where you're going, and that's where Pokemon Go, Bob, you mentioned that really falls into this category though, because it's a GPS style device, and if you're driving your car trying to get to the location that you're supposed to go, you're definitely not looking forward.
Jeb, real quick.
Okay, so I'm guilty of texting and driving as well, but we did a case study at school, and the case study suggested this. Roughly 5% of us are quote-unquote superhumans, and we have an extremely capable ability to multitask, so we can text and drive more efficiently than some can't.
I don't think so. I can't do that.
Jeb thinks he's a superhuman.
All right, we're coming back live here on the Truth. Oh, my text got stuck.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live.
Credit cards are like grandkids. They love you, sometimes get out of control, and it's fun to get a new one. Who can stop them from piling on?
Hi, I'm Tom Coates with Consumer Credit of Des Moines. At the end of the day, you can return the grandkids, but you're stuck paying off bad credit card debt. We'll help you put the fun back into using credit cards responsibly. Right, kids?
Yeah! If you need help getting credit cards off your back, call Consumer Credit of Des Moines.
Rockton Prevention is celebrating 25 years of creating a caring community. We want to say thank you to the tens of thousands of Rock High School mentors that have carried our message of health, love, and encouragement to over 1.5 million children, teachers, and parents. Our mentors teach children methods and skills to prevent bullying and drug use. Thank you to all the school administrators, teachers, and counselors for their opportunity to serve you. Rock on, fair citizens, rock on. This is Pat McManus for Rockton Prevention, the Richard O. Jacobson Foundation, and this station.
Northern Lights Pizza, your home of the tasty crust. Our garlic butter sauce now available in 12-ounce bottles at Northern Lights, Hy-Vee, and Graziano's.
Northern Lights Pizza. Hi, my name is David Burrier, your Hope Coach. I host a live weekly talk show called I've Been There every Thursday afternoon at 5:30, right here on webcast1live.com, and on my weekly radio program Saturday mornings at 10 on Truth Network 99.3 FM. I interview common, everyday people who have survived incredible life challenges and who testify to God's faithfulness in the midst of their storms. So join me as we bring a message of hope and encouragement. Everybody needs hope. I know, because I've been there.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live. From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live.
10 minutes before the top of the hour, Salem Radio Network News, and then next hour, I don't know, do I even need to be here? I mean, it's going to be Frank and Tom, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Christy's going to stick around.
Somebody's got to kind of, judge the fight, referee the fight.
Well, aren't you coming around? I mean, I got to go.
No, I got to go. I got stuff I got to do.
Well, Tom,
I got stuff I got to do.
My stuff's more important.
Your stuff's more important than my stuff.
Yeah, my stuff's the most important stuff because it's mine.
Well, what makes your stuff more important to you than my stuff is more important to me?
Because it's my stuff.
But I got my stuff.
Yeah, I know, but it's only important to you. It doesn't matter to me.
Well, why doesn't it matter to you? Are you telling me I don't matter to you?
That's right.
Mac Lives doesn't matter.
That's what I'm saying.
Mac's life doesn't matter.
Yes, only roll-off matters. That's what I'm saying.
Who's on first?
I want to get a protest.
Hey,
Let's
Mac,
march
you
in the
remember
streets.
when you were in the Dakotas and I had Dad Gross on the show and we changed the name of the show?
To Tom's World.
Came out of the mountains on that one.
I did. I was in the mountains listening to the show, and I came all the way down where my phone would work because I got it on my car. I came all the way down in my phone and called up and said, "Hey, it's Mac's World." No, today it's Tom's World. I remember sitting in, where was I? That town in South Dakota. Deadwood or
Rapid City or something?
No, it's where the grocery store or the drugstore is.
Oh, yeah.
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 I remember walking.
Mitchell?
No. I remember walking up and down.
Wall drug.
I remember walking up and down the street talking. I'm just mad. I mean, there's some little mom over there with her little kid, and she's going, "Don't get close to him. He's a mad, angry, middle-aged white man." All right. Anyway, so next hour. We're going to go over this convention thing because it's really interesting. I mean, I thought it was the Republican convention that was going to get interesting. All right. I told you yesterday on the show that I had a very negative calcium scoring test. And what that means is they score how much calcium you have in your arteries. And this is the thing that causes stroke and heart attacks. And I was 85% blocked on the left-hand side of my heart. And I was told by someone who's very smart, I don't want to, well, anyway, that this is bad and that I need to take care of it and that I was probably heading for either stents or I was heading for open heart surgery. Well, I'm interviewing cardiologists, and today I interviewed the second one. The first one yesterday, I hope she's not listening. I don't mean any offense, but I'm not a number, lady. I'm a patient. This is my heart. This is my grandpa's heart. These are my kids' father's heart. I'm just not interested in being a number to you. And I'm sure you're a wonderful cardiologist, but you're out. Today I talked to a guy who's amazing. And you notice I'm not using any names. Okay, I'm just talking. And basically, he said that the guy that told me it was really bad has done this before with this kind of calcium scoring, and he's told him before, don't tell your patients that. So here's what's happened. I have lost 51 pounds since 2 years ago. And my cholesterol's down, my blood sugar's down, my blood pressure's down, my weight's down, and I'm continuing that trend. So what he's done is he has scheduled me for stents on August 24th, so in 1 month. And if in that time I have continued to lower all those four things, then we will not have the operation, and then he'll check my calcium scoring again. But I got to tell you, I had a very, very, very spooky, 96 hours? My whole mortality flashed in front of me. And I had people coming up to me, especially at church, and they're relating their stories of open heart surgery or what do they call that, valve bypass surgery, and guys that had stents. And everybody was saying, don't worry about it. It's easy. You'll never know what's going on. It'll be the best thing that ever happened in your life. Well, I don't think so. People die on that table for the stupidest reasons, and I'm not interested in that. But I'm interested in being healthy. So I still have one cardiologist to interview tomorrow, and all three of these people are at different companies or different hospitals or healthcare, whatever. Tomorrow I'm going to your friend, Tom. And I hope I don't get a different opinion, because if this guy comes back and says, no, this is what we need to do, I'm going to listen to him. Because I think I need to, what are the, something on the side of caution?
Err on the side of caution.
I need to err on the side of caution, and not just because today the guy said, oh, no, you'll be fine. Just, lose. He wants me to lose 12 pounds in the next month, and I think that's doable, isn't it?
Are you exercising, Mac?
From the neck up. No, I've been doing better, but I got to start. And it's kind of silly, Chris, because you and I talked about this when we moved in here. We can walk that mall in 20 minutes and cover over a mile, and yet we'll sit in our offices on our phones and yell at each other back and forth, because we don't have an intercom system. We just need to go down and just walk that darn mall.
Time to download Pokemon Go.
Yeah, and it seems like somebody was badgering Chris and making fun of them that they needed to walk the steps.
Who?
I think his name started
that's
with...
when he was on that program that he was supposed to lose everything.
Yeah, he was on the...
Anyway, so you asked me, I've got to start. And I bought I didn't buy. A friend of mine gave me the
Nordic Track thing.
It's an elliptical.
Elliptical type deal,
Mac, you know Van Harden's story.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
He did it by walking.
I was on his show a little over a week ago. He's lost 100 pounds.
Yeah,
and
he looks great, doesn't he?
Yeah, I've never seen him in all the time, a quarter of a century I've known him, look this good.
Yeah,
and
he looks
lost
great.
100 pounds, and he exercises every day now, too.
But it's walking or exercising?
Both. Now, he's both doing resistance and alternating, and he started with... He didn't want to, like you don't want to either, but he started walking, and then it got infectious, and now he's an enthusiast.
Yeah, I don't mind walking. I'm okay with walking, and I've been walking in the morning at like 5 o'clock in the morning before I go to my Bible study, so I can't complain that it's too hot. Anyway, I got to do it. I mean,
do that, and maybe you won't have to do the other, Mac.
Yeah, and because if a doctor's going to put stents in my heart, I want it to be because there's no other reason. There's no other opportunity. And so far, this guy today thinks that, in 30 days, I could get it to the point where I don't need that.
And a lot of people don't come out of anesthetic.
Right.
So, avoid it if all possible.
Yeah, I've only been operated on twice in my life. Once in when I was 16 years old, and then once again a few years ago for my back. And it's not fun. I don't especially people that go through plastic surgery. I don't get that. I do get it. It's vanity, and it's.
I do.
Do you?
Sure.
Really?
Absolutely. Yeah.
But isn't that vanity?
No. I've always been very, very thin my whole life.
Yeah, and you are still.
Well, I hit menopause, late 40s.
Okay.
And I gained weight, and I could not do anything to get it off. I've diet, exercise. I was at the gym every morning at 5 a.m., and I'm talking hard exercise.
Yeah.
And this went on for 6-8 years, and I could not drop any weight. So I went to a plastic surgeon. He made 2 little incisions.
You look great.
In my lower abdomen, and he sucked out a bunch of fat.
Yeah.
And it changed everything.
Okay.
Everything.
You'd say it was good.
Yeah, it was great.
All right, We're going to take our break. We're going to come back, and Bob and Frank and Christy, just convention talk. And I'm just going to sit back and play Pokemon Go. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm just going to listen because I want you to listen to us. Thanks for listening to 99.3. This is, I promise you from my heart, the truth.